Yes, you still got New York spice, and you can take the boy out the city, but you can't take the city out the boy.
That's the truth.
Okay. So I think I was asking you, how's your year? How's this year been for you?
It's
What
been
type
good,
of new things?
you know.
Okay. All right.
I got a bunch of new projects I've been doing. Doing a lot of studio work, doing a lot of teaching, and so it's been a good year so far.
And you said you got a bunch of new stuff that's coming out. I remember we talked about you sending me some stuff. I haven't got a chance to check that email. I don't know. Did you send me over anything?
No, I haven't. I got to do that really soon.
Okay.
I'm a little behind.
It's okay. And mainly because it's a lot of the stuff that you do on your own in your studio. So tell us about some of the hats that you're wearing.
Let's see. Outside of writing and performing and engineering and production,
that's a lot of hats.
You get a headache from wearing. Yeah, you get a headache from wearing that many hats.
So with that kind of action going on in your life, you don't really have much time for socializing.
No. I mean, music is my life. You know that. We've had that discussion before. And that's a lot of what I do. I mean, that's pretty much all the time. So between that and teaching, there really isn't much time to do much else.
So how's the kids? Is it getting tougher every year? Because every year you get a new breed that comes in there. I know. How do you adapt to all the new behaviors? And, with the young kids, they when it comes to music, you got those that are a little shy, and you got those that want to go out there and just light up the world, and, you can't tell them anything. How are you handling that?
Well, I mean, I've worked in rock and roll my whole life. So when people used to ask me, how do you have the patience to teach? It's like most of my students are a lot more mature than the people I've had to work with. So it's not that bad.
I lived next door to a musician for a few years. He moved off this year. And there's a very popular band in this area, very popular. And he was teaching lessons. And he was telling me that it's hard. He said it's really hard. I don't practice. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that. They're kids, so a lot of them, it takes them a while, but just based on the way I am and what I do, eventually the little light goes on, and they all sit there and practice really hard, and they get really good really fast, and they realize, oh, he knows what he's talking about.
So you teach several different. You play several different instruments. So can you list those all for us again? Yeah,
I teach and play guitar, bass. I teach beginning piano, beginning drums. I do vocal coaching. I teach a band class, a couple band classes now.
Wow. Now, do you teach them? Do you extend that out to adults? Maybe do you have lessons that you do outside of the classroom?
Yeah, my age ranges are 7 to 70.
Okay. I wish I lived close by you. I definitely would want to take some guitar and piano lessons.
Okay.
I said I was going to get me a guitar for Christmas.
If I find myself over there, you're the first one on my list.
Definitely check me out. I saw this pink guitar in the store, and I said, I want to play one of those things, And with my singing capabilities, which are very limited, but I sing it anyway. I said, I mean, it embarrassed the heck out of everybody and get me a little spot on the chord and strumming my guitar. I said the people would pass around and give me money just to feel sorry for me. That poor girl, she got a lot of courage to come out there.
That's one way of doing it.
And sing that. I was gonna We'll put some music on the background, some of your music that I'm going to go ahead and play in the background to give us a little taste of Jimmy. So now,
I appreciate that.
Sure. When you be doing those skits that I see on Instagram and Facebook, the things of that. Now, is that a practice that you do every morning? Is that like an exercise routine that you do to put them out there?
No, it's a thing I call the lick of the day.
Yeah.
And basically, I have about 5 minutes from when I get to school and set up and all that, and between that and my first lesson, I have about 5 minutes. So I sit there and go, okay, what am I going to do? And then I run it down once, and then I film it, and you get to see what happens.
So you do it at lick of the day. Is this music that you write, or is it composed by someone else that you're just playing it?
No, they're all original, and it's just an improv thing. It's just whatever comes out that day.
Really? Because I've listened to some of that, your lick of the days, and that's. I always thought that you were, it was someone else's material, that you were just doing a little skit of it. But this is you.
Yeah, that's just me. It's just whatever I happen to feel at the moment. I've had a few people ask me that, actually. They're like, do you rehearse those? And I go, nah, I have about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Wow. You are so talented with that guitar.
Oh, thank you.
Just truly talented. I mean, some of your songs I listen to, and I'm just like, my fingers hurt. My fingers hurt just listening to where you be carrying on. But I guess what keeps you in it is the music itself. You get lost in the music, but you don't think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes a little too lost. I start working and I forget to eat and stuff. And
Wow, that's really deep. That's really deep. I would love to be into music that way. I'm that way because, I guess we all have things that, we can get lost into. Mine is computer, technology, art, stuff like that. When I'm creating, when I'm planning or something like that, I can go without eating. I tell my husband, like, if I'm working on a design or some type of epiphany that I get, because I get them all the time, I won't eat. I'll put on a pair of sweats. I'll come in my office, and I'm in it that whole time. And then if it lasts until the next day, I'm there. And my husband would be like, did you shower? I said, no. I can't wash it off me right now.
Yeah. I know the feeling well.
Yes. If I wash, it's going to do something. Right now, I'm flowing with it right now.
Exactly. Well, if you're doing something you love, it doesn't seem like you're actually working. So.
Yes.
It's just until you look at the clock and realize how long you've been doing it.
There you go. It's a passion. It's a passion, and that's how I feel about everything that I do, including my show. I just wish I had more of me to put into it without having to split me up, so many ways.
Now, yeah, I can relate to that. Absolutely. But I don't think the world's ready for more than one of me. I think one of me is too many.
You think so? I bet you are a card. I saw a picture that was on. I don't remember where I saw it from. I don't remember whether it was your social media sites, but it looked like it was some type of outing, and you're kind of standing there with your hands in your pocket and looking at what's going on. And I said, I bet he has an opinion. I bet when he has something to say, he just says it, and people are just probably standing there like, what? What did he just say? You look like, you're looking at people like, WTF, or you just have that New York thing about you. And when I talk to you and we talk about things, especially with what's going on in today's society, when you just come out, you just voice it. That's the way you feel about it. Cut and dry.
I mean, again, if you if you have an opinion, you speak it. I mean, everyone's got one. It's just most people are afraid to say it because they're afraid they're going to tick off somebody on one side or the other.
Mm-hmm. And you have this look like I don't care.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that sums it up right there.
That's the way I feel. I don't care.
Exactly.
It's just about, so I think I like that, though. I really do. I love honest people, that can be true to who they are, I don't get down much with the fakeness, and I think that's what makes my show so unique is that I'm so real
you're good like that. I mean, if you have an opinion, you state it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And if I'm feeling an emotion, it comes out on air. Sometimes
nothing wrong with that. That's what you should be doing. If more people did that, the world would probably be a little bit of a better place, Because you'd be able to cut through all the nonsense and say, okay, you feel this way, I feel this way, we'll find common ground, and if we can, great. If we can't, okay, no problem. No harm, no foul.
That's it. Everybody don't have to think alike, and everybody don't have to be alike. You're entitled to feel the way that you feel. As long as you're not stepping on nobody's toes, trying to get them to think the way you think.
No, exactly. I mean, the whole thing is if everyone thought the same, the world would be a very boring place. Art would be boring. Music would be boring. Even your show would be boring because everyone would think alike. And it doesn't matter. There's no point of having a show because you already know what the answer is when you ask the question.
Yes. Or I would edit everything. At one point I was telling people, we could just be talking and everything just disconnect. That's my show. Sometimes I talk for 30 minutes. I'm talking 15, 20 minutes, and I realize that I got the mute on. And it's just like, well, I've been here talking to myself.
That's part of the fun.
And that's what happens when you don't have, what do you call them, assistants to tell you, to do the check. The ones that's always checking and stuff for you. I have nobody to do that, so the only one that checks is me, and sometimes I'm a little bit late.
Yeah, you definitely need a tech. You need a personal assistant.
Yes. One day, Jimmy, I'll be able to afford it. One day you'll have someone in there. Not that you can't afford it. You just don't trust anyone that has that same passion that you do. One day you'll get someone in there. And they'll just take over you. They'll love it so much they'll be trying to put you out. Say, I'm better than Jimmy.
I've been hearing stuff like that my whole life.
But you're good. You're good. They're going to have to do a lot. You one of them undiscovered diamond in the rough, because you can play. You're very into your music. So I know we've been here talking about all types of fun stuff, but I need to talk about your Christmas. How do you celebrate Christmas?
Let's see. Usually it's just a quiet day. Nothing major goes on. It's just a quiet day. And then I'll go into the studio and it won't be so quiet anymore.
So, I mean, do you put up a tree at least?
We do sometimes, yeah. Okay. If I remember. It all depends on what happens the week before.
What about exchanging presents?
Yeah, we do all that kind of stuff. It's a very low-key thing.
Oh, okay. I'm going to ask you who you exchange presents with. Curious minds want to know, Jimmy. This is not
I know
for
they do.
me.
I understand that, Lena.
This is not for me. I mean, curious minds want to know. Are you exchanging some Christmas presents? Mistletoe action going on?
Again, I never kiss and tell. Come on, I told you, Lena.
That doesn't mean I'm going to give up.
I know.
One day, I hope to have you all out here. I'm working on that. I don't know how long
that would be